In today's News Daily video, well, it's going to be a bit left back crazy. I'm going to be talking about the future of Emerson and a potential move to Napoli. I'll be speaking about the latest developments in the TELLES transfer, and I'm going to be talking about Atalanta's left wing back GOSENS and reports that were linked to sign the players. So it is going to be a jam-packed video today, you guys, and before I get into anything, today's video is brought to you by the OneFootball app. If you guys want to download the app, you'll get access to the best football companion app on the market. And now that we're all self-isolating at home, well, if you want a hub that's going to have all the latest news across Europe, literally straight on your phone instantly, well, that's what the OneFootball app is here for. So if you guys want to try it out for yourselves, you will find a link below in the description below. And now we get straight in with our first story for the day, and I'm going to be talking about the club. The club came out and gave a response in regard to this current COVID-19 situation. As you guys can see on screen, the club gave an official statement on the club's website, and they spoke about how Premier League clubs held a meeting to just discuss the current situation. Now, there were talks that the league would be suspended until the end of April, but with how this situation isn't slowing down or improving, it looks like football this season will be held off indefinitely. So the club are basically saying that them and other clubs in the Premier League do agree to these measures. We do continue on, you guys, and there was some really amazing news today. And that's the fact that every single Premier League club agreed to actually have a wage reduction with their current squads. Everyone's going to have reduced wages by 30%. And that's to help up with all the other staff that help football clubs. Your caterers, your kit staff, your guys that obviously do the pitches as well on the training grounds. There's a lot of people involved behind the scenes at clubs, and these guys play a valuable role in making the players' lives easier so they can focus on their football and focus on being the best players they can be. On top of that though, you guys, the Premier League will also be donating £20 million to the NHS and to charitable funds as well. And if you're asking me, I'm really happy with the response from football in regards to this situation, because at times, you guys, football likes to be like an isolated bubble from the world's issues. This time it can't be, and I like that clubs are stepping up. They're making things happen. They're putting the money in, because listen, they've been making a lot of money from us, from TV money, from everything over these past few years. So it's only fair that clubs do give back and start helping out more. Now we move on to the second story, and I want to talk about Emerson, because today reports came out suggesting that another Italian club are interested in signing the player. Now in Italy, we know that clubs like Inter Milan and Juventus are the two main clubs really focused on signing the player. Today, Napoli have emerged as runners, and these reports are quite interesting because they're actually talking about Napoli offering the player a contract. And it's believed that Napoli have offered Emerson a 5-year deal worth €3 million per season. So does this give us an indication in regards to how much it's going to cost to get rid of Emerson? I do think so. I do think that even though we see a lot of reports like this, I feel like they do contain quite useful information. And realistically, Emerson isn't on like a big first team player status with this club, so his wage pack isn't going to be too crazy high. Like, I don't even think he's earning 6 figures a week playing for us. So that type of wage packet at Napoli could work out for the player a lot more. It's clear that Emerson is going to be going. His agent has spoken about Emerson wanting a return back to Italy too. And, Emerson, with pressure from the Italian national manager, Roberto Mancini, Mancini basically said, I would like to see Emerson play more games. Ideally, I like to see him playing games in Serie A, because that way I can see the player more. So I have a feeling that Emerson is going to make the best move for his career, move back to Serie A. We cash in on him, and I think realistically, we can't expect to earn too much money from an Emerson sale. I think with his injuries as well, that's definitely going to affect the valuation on the player. So would it be wise to sell him from between 20 to 25 million? Maybe, but if you're asking me, I think 20 million is a fair, it's a fair fee. It's a fair fee. I mean, come on. That way we can quickly get rid of the player. We can focus on other players for that position, and we can start just safeguarding that position. I think that's the best thing to do, you guys. And now we move on to the third and one of the big stories for the day, and that's regards to the TELLES latest developments. Now, Today, reports came out from Paris United. If you guys don't know who they are, Paris United were the Twitter page that really officially announced the Neymar deal. They've been covering the story for a long time, and that's how they built their reputation. Since then, they've been a very good source for all news Paris Saint-Germain. So when they talk about Paris Saint-Germain, they're not talking out their ass. There's some substantial, information behind things. And what they're saying is that Paris Saint-Germain, they're in need for a new left back. It looks like they need competition for Bernat. Gazara is a player that's been at Paris Saint-Germain a lot longer than I think the club actually wanted them. And reports are that they actually turned to Alex Telles. However, and this is the great news, they were quickly rebuffed because, as the reports state, Telles is close to finalizing a deal to sign for us. So this is amazing news, and I hope you guys watched yesterday's video. In that video, I spoke about the latest developments in regards to Telles hiring a new agent, replacing his sister and hiring Pini Zahavi. Now, anytime you hear the name Pini Zahavi, this is a guy that's had a reputation working alongside the club for years and years and years. So if you were to sign for us and you really want to sign for us, you're making the best possible decision to hire an agent like Pini Zahavi. Now, you might be thinking, out of curiosity, okay, Nini, Paris Saint-Germain aren't going to sign Alex Telles. What player are they going to target instead? And reports say that they're now going to turn their attentions back to Alexandro. So, this ain't the same Alexandro. His form isn't the same as, the player that we were once linked with, all those seasons back. However, he's still a great player in his own right. I think we can accept that Ben Chilwell won't be becoming a Chelsea player next season because the valuation for him is way too high. Leicester wants 70 million for him. He's not worth that money. Even though he's a good player, he isn't a great player just yet. He needs more consistent game time at this level, and I'm sure over a few more seasons he will do that. But anyway, before I give some brief thoughts and opinions, let's continue on with the story, because this report came out from Ebola and they spoke about the valuation and the final transfer fee for Alex Telles. Now, we know that his release clause is at 40 million euros. Ideally, Porto want that amount. However, and this is a story I've spoken about for a while, I've been covering everything in regards to this Telles story. We know that Porto are in a financial situation. So if they were to cash in on the player before the 30th of June, it means that they can then balance the books for this year financially. If that was the case, we could sign Telles for 30 million euros. 30 million euros is like 24 million pounds. Now, to think that you could sign Alex Telles, a guy who is without doubt a great left back, for that type of money, when guys like Ben Chilwell cost nearly 3 times that amount. It's absolutely crazy, and hopefully this is a sign of positive things to come in the next window, because to sign, as I've been saying, Ziyech and Telles for like less than 60 is mad. It feels like it shouldn't be happening, but I guess we're paying the benefits for being patient and not just panic buying. Panic buying has cost this club for way too goddamn long. It's meant that we've bought tons of players that weren't good enough for us, that we can't get rid of, who are stuck as part of the loan army. We can't take any more L's like this. Patience is always best, and now, as I've said, we've signed Ziyech. It looks like we're close to signing Alex Telles. And to end the report, you guys, the great news is that if we do sign him for 30 million euros, it's only going to be 10 million euros more than what we originally offered Porto 2 seasons ago. Now, you guys remember when we signed Emerson that window, we were in the market for a new left back, and names like Gazara and Alex Telles were very prominent high figures that we were speaking to. At the time, Telles said that he didn't want to leave because he wanted to win something with Porto. Now, of course, we didn't go in for him again because that position was covered. We need a left back now. Telles is available. He wants to go. He wants to sign for us. I guess this is the best way to go. Now, I know I've said that I prefer Tagliafico, but I have said that Alex Telles would be my second choice left back. I still stand by that. He still would be a good player for us. And you guys, it seems like Telles is very close to signing. So exciting days to come. And now we end things with the final report for the day, and I want to talk about Atalanta's Robert Gosens. Reports suggest that we are still interested in Robert Gosens. He's been a player that's really been very prominent for Atalanta this season. He's made his stay playing as a left back / left wing back. It seems like Atalanta have accepted that he most likely will be leaving. They did sign a younger 20-year-old player from the Eredivisie in the previous window, so he most likely is going to be that long-term successor to GOSENS. However, the question is, even though we are interested alongside clubs like Inter Milan and other Serie A clubs, compared to options like maybe your Tagliaficos and your Alex Tellez's, is GOSENS what we need? He's a great left wing back, but that's the thing. He's a left wing back. We don't need that. We actually need left backs, and I think he isn't a player that's going to take us to that next level. Now for Atalanta, he does play a crucial role. He's very similar stylistically to Marcos Alonso in the sense that these guys are wing backs that have an eye for goal, that like to test teams, and in that sense, because typically, fullbacks, wing backs don't tend to get in the books or strike the goal as much. I guess players like them have found something unique in football that gives them that advantage. GOSENS is tall, he's very good aerially, he's a bit of an all-rounder, but I just think that we need a specific style of left back. We need a left back that has excellent delivery non-stop, and I think with options like Tagliaficos, for example, that's what you're going to get. With GOSENS, remember, playing as a left wing back, it means that he has extra defensive support behind him to get forward and do what he wants to do. We're not trying to play like this anymore. We have attacking players and our young wingers, our young cams, our attacking mids as well, and our strikers that can do that already. So to have an extra option, your left wing back getting inside the books, it's not what we need anymore. We have better quality for those areas. So for me, I think this story is a bit of a non-issue. It's a non-story. I'm assuming that maybe we're still making our interest public in the player to maybe put the Italian clubs under a bit of pressure. We want to get rid of Emerson and Marcos Alonso. We don't want these clubs signing replacements instead of those guys, because that's going to affect our business when it comes to signing a left back. So I guess to keep that interest in him is a good scare tactic if you're asking me, and hopefully we get some resolution in regards to this left back position, you guys. But anyway, on that point, I'm going to wrap things up and keep things moving. Thank you for watching. You guys, it seems like Alex Telles is the next guy to come. So I'm just curious, when exactly will the signing come? It has to come before the 30th of June. And if you're asking me, hopefully we can see some more developments at some point throughout the month. But anyway, you guys, I'm going to wrap things up. I'm going to keep things moving. Thank you for watching. I'm Nini FC. This is Blue Lions TV. I'll see you guys tomorrow for some big videos.